Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And how are we today? Well, today, I've got to be honest, the news today is going to be very, very interesting actually today. Just a quick look at the clouds, and it is clouds today. It looks a bit ominous, to be quite honest. As you can see, I'm using my naked eye. You're looking at the picture. It does look grim today, I've got to be honest. However, you know, it might be up to see what the lovely Amanda has if she's up and about for the weather forecast. But anyway, that's the way it looks towards Amber Lockerbie, going down towards Kerry. Ominous clouds at the moment, maybe a bit of rain on the way. Be good for the crops. But anyway, not looking good there. And as we go round to the back of the house, just a quick look down towards Kalamaki. And also down to Laguna as well as the crow flies. There's little Herbert down there playing, and also lovely little Sweetie down there as well. And the weather looking in that direction again, cloudy again. Sun being slightly obscured or just coming over. I don't know if it's like that on Exmoor. Shane Bowen says, morning Ginge, from a beautiful Exmoor. So Exmoor today is having good weather. Ours is a little bit mixed at the moment, to be quite honest. I'm hoping the sun might burn off this cloud. And we're going to have a nice, clear, beautiful day. And also looking towards the direction of Sillavi, again, cloudy and ominous. Quick shout out to Australia this morning. Morning, Ginge. We had clouds today and had a fantastic downpour. We always need rain out here in the west of Queensland. And I do know they've had a drought in certain parts of Australia for many years. And the Aussies got their summer going at the moment, and obviously needing the water as well. And also, don't forget, there's Greek helicopters there been fighting forest fires in Australia. Anyway, so let's have a quick look at the news. And I've got to be honest, some of the news this morning is rather tragic. Yesterday, we were supposed to have had Piccolo yesterday. On the island, first sort of big carnival parade. That obviously didn't happen because of the restrictions due to COVID, and people seem to be all obeying the rules and sort of staying home, and you know, just in general it was a lovely day weather-wise, but just a bit quiet to what we're used to at this time of year. Right then, let's have a quick look at the COVID stats for the last 24 hours. And here we go. Anyway, 8th of March today, Monday. It is also 112 days that we've been in lockdown. And in the last 24 hours, the rate of infection for COVID is down across Greece at the moment. You might remember the last time I reported to you, we had 2,301 new infections. Well, yesterday, we only had 1,142 new infections. That bringing the total now since the pandemic started to 205,120, of which 51% of those are male. Anyway, there were 8 new cases identified after checks into Greece's ports, which is down from 14 on my previous report. And according to the national stats yesterday, there were 5 cases on Lefkada. There was no cases in Kefalonia. There was 2 cases in Corfu, and the national stats said that we had 2 cases on Zakynthos, but I think that was them doing catch up. However, yesterday I can confirm we only had 1 positive case of coronavirus here on Zakynthos, and that was a 55-year-old resident. He was confirmed yesterday. He'd gone to the hospital suffering from mild symptoms. He also had been suffering from shortness of breath, and because of that, they actually decided to keep him in the hospital, in the COVID clinic, under observation. And how long he'll be there, I do not know, but he is actually now in the COVID clinic at the moment, under observation. So at the moment, that brings the total amount of positive cases here on Zakynthos since the beginning of the year to 120. And this month in March, we've had 22 cases, positive cases of COVID virus here on Zakynthos. Anyway, as for deaths, I'm afraid deaths are up across the country. Yesterday, I reported to you there was 41 deaths. Today, I can report there has been 53 new deaths across the country. That means the total amount of deaths since the pandemic started now is 6,758. The average age of those people affected was 79 years of age. 96.4% of those people had underlying health conditions or were over the age of 70. And just to put that in context, in 2019, before COVID, the average daily death rate in Greece would be around about 329 people a day. And here on Zakynthos, since the beginning of the year, we've only had one death from the coronavirus. As for critical cases at the moment, now this is being a worry to the Greek authorities at the moment. They are up. Last time I reported, there was 452 people in intensive care. At the moment, there is 466 people in critical care across Greece. 317 of those are male, 149 of those are female. Now, the average age of those people in critical care at the moment is around about 68 years of age, and 86.5% of those have underlying health issues or are over the age of 70. So there you go. Those are the stats for coronavirus at the moment across Greece. Today's top story that has been going across the island at the moment is a very sad tale of a 38-year-old Zakynthian woman who, for some unknown reason, decided to take her life yesterday morning. Now, according to the information from a family member who'd been talking to the local press, the 38-year-old had not left a letter or a suicide note, as we call it. The same source speaking to hermesnews.gr said that she did not face any problems, either psychological or personal, and the family cannot understand the reasons that led her to end her life. Also, as well, she did end her life in what I could only determine as a very dramatic way. Now, according to information, the 38-year-old first slashed her wrists, and then she drove a car driving through the yard of a house close to the beach at Macardo. Now, that's in the northern part of the island, up near where Zygynthian Beach, on the way towards where Port St Nicholas at the top, where the ferry would run in the summer to Kefalonia. Anyway, she apparently drove through the yard of a house close to that location. And not only that, but as she drove through the yards, she drove over a cliff, and then the car then came to rest upon a boat that was obviously at the bottom of the cliff. Now, the unfortunate woman, they managed to retrieve the woman's body. She is now being moved to Patras, where there'll be an autopsy performed. And also this morning, the local Greek police said that they are ruling out any criminal activity. The police said the tragic incident took place in the early morning hours of Sunday, March the 7th, and apparently she ended her life in the car. There was a large knife found inside the vehicle, and all her personal belongings were in there as well. Anyway, on behalf of myself and people of the island, we'd like to express sincere condolences to the family of the woman who took her life yesterday. And again, there's not a lot you can say. And again, when you start to wonder about mental health issues, maybe she was somebody who just quietly just had enough of what's been going on, not saying anything to anybody, not making a fuss. And again, it does happen. People just don't speak, they don't talk, and maybe she needed to talk to somebody. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on that story. We'll see what the outcome is. But once again, if anybody's got any mental health issues, any problems, I'm not sure what you can do at the moment, apart from just talking. There is no helpline here in Greece, as far as I'm aware. There is one for domestic violence, and there is also one to the police as well on 1-100. Anyway, so once again, we'll keep an eye on that story, and we'll see what the outcome is. And if I can find out any information in regards to mental health issues here in Greece, I will let you know. Anyway, going back to the national news again, the impact of more infectious strains of COVID-19, which is now prevalent within Greece, is now placing further strain on the Greek health services, which were already in a critical state. In the last 24 hours, 293 patients have been admitted to hospitals in the Attica region. That's the largest number ever recorded in one day, and with an increase also in the number of young people being hospitalised as well. Now, he did say that the virus now is changing tack and it is affecting younger people. We've seen the same here on Zakynthos at the moment, where we've noticed the age is come down from, shall we say, sort of over 70s, 80s age has come down to people in their 40s, 50s and 60s. And also a lot more children at school seem to be also contracting the virus. A lot of them not showing the signs that they have anything as well, which is the other worrying things for older age groups who might be, shall we say, in a vulnerable position. Anyway, in the fight against the third wave, as they're calling it here, of coronavirus pandemic, the Health Ministry is now taking stock of all available beds, and this is also including the private sector, in case they need to be called upon in short notice to start also taking some of the burden off the main Greek health services. The Deputy Health Minister, Vasilis Konstantinos, said, depending on how the epidemic develops, we are examining all scenarios. At the same time, he said the number of hospitalised patients is continually rising, bringing hospitals, especially in Attica, to their limits. The average daily admission rate of patients with COVID-19 to the Attica hospitals last week was 200 compared to 330 nationwide across Greece. So again, we shall keep an eye on that. Also as well, another story that came in the press this morning, the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, has stated that considerably more vaccines will be delivered within the Union in April. The President once again accepted that mistakes were made on part of Europe, but said that she still believes that ordering vaccines on behalf of all the European states was the best way forward. No, all you were doing, my love, was coming to the party late because other countries had seen what was on the horizon, decided to roll their sleeves up and get involved. You sat there in your ivory tower, did absolutely nothing. You've not done much in the way of helping people and helping people get their economies back on the go either. And you've just been very, very poor performer of taking care of this mega crisis for people. Anyway, the president has once again accepted that the mistakes were made on part of Europe, but she said she still believes that ordering the vaccines on behalf of all the European states was the best way forward. And interesting news as well, Greece has seen vaccinations at the moment past the 1 million mark. Once again, just to remind people, if you want to get the vaccine and you are between the age of 60 to 64, just go to local pharmacy here on Zakynthos and you can book your appointment. I do know people are already booking their appointments, getting for their first vaccination and then for their second vaccination. And at the moment, most people are being told they will get their vaccination original date will be in March, with the second probably sometime in June. So again, if you want to get it, go and get it. Me at the moment, I'm still hanging out to see what happens, but who knows, maybe I might have to succumb as well and go for the vaccine. But anyway, again, you can obviously understand yesterday Piccolo was supposed to be on. The police have been really hot, making sure that people abide by the lockdown rules. And more figures have come in from the police departments across the Ionian about their bookings of people. And these are from Saturday, just a few days ago. More intensive checks by the different police departments to limit the spread of the coronavirus. Now on Saturday, there were 40 violations in Corfu. There were 7 violations in Zakynthos, there were 5 in Lefkada and 4 in Kefalonia, and these were referred to, restrictions of movement, people either moving during the curfew hours or not booking out correctly on their phones. Anyway, all of those people have been fined €300 for breaking those rules. Also as well, the police also confirmed on the same day that there were 14 violations in Corfu, 3 in Zakynthos and 2 in Lefkada for booking people for not wearing masks while they were out. And again, you get a €300 fine for that if you're caught without a mask. And finally, this is an interesting little story, especially I know we've got a lot of ex-military tuning in, mainly from Australia today as well. I saw Graham there as well. Graham Bint also tuning in from Australia. He said, the news is that Greece will introduce an increase in military service for conscripts serving in the army, increasing that from 9 months to 12 months. And that is going to start in May as part of a programme to boost the armed forces, the Greek armed forces, amid the tensions at the moment that are with Turkey. Anyway, the decision was made on Friday, and will bring army service in line with the length of conscription to the Navy and the Air Force. It seems if you want to join the Navy or the Air Force, you would end up doing 9 months as opposed to doing 6 if you were in the Army. Anyway, the 9-month term will only remain for Army conscripts who volunteer to join the Special Forces service or serve in border areas for their entire time in uniform. Anyway, just as a side there, Greece last year began a major military modernisation programme that included the upgrade of ageing F-16 fighter jets, as well as the purchase of new generation French-built Rafale jets and a planned frigate order that has drawn keen interest from competing US and European arms markets. Greece and neighbouring Turkey are at odds over the boundaries and mineral rights in the Aegean Sea and the Eastern Mediterranean, which has been causing tension and a naval build-up in the region last year, where, to be honest, it looked like Greece and Turkey were more likely to go to war than they were going to suffer the effects of COVID virus at the time. So things are still tense there at the moment, and the sabre rattling continues, and we will see how that will play out as well. However, we're still a good place to come for a holiday, by the way. All right, let's not put too much doom and gloom on it. We're still good for that. Right, let's have a quick look and see who's tuning in this morning. Ian Daly is tuning. Nice to see you, Ian. It's been a bit of a while. Nice to have you. Hope you're doing well. Shane Bowen there, over there in lovely Exmoor. He's tuning in and saying how beautiful it is. Also, Trevor Douglas Howie, one of my ex-bosses from the RAF Reg, he lives over in Queensland. He's been tuning in as well. Nice to see you looking in, fella. Amanda Gregory is watching as well. Nice to see you tuning in, Amanda. And thank you as well yesterday for coming into the chat room on Beats Radio during my Northern Soul show. It was quite busy in there yesterday, I've got to be honest. Lots of great people in there chatting away. And the numbers I were told for the listeners tuning in while driving around in their cars, because Beats Radio is able to broadcast alternatively and people can pick it up in their cars wherever they drive about, were very impressive figures indeed. I was really quite shocked at the amount of people tuning in, and they don't always get to come in the chat room. One person I do know, Phil, he'll stop his lorry, get out and get online and say, hi, I'm driving, blah, 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 enjoying the music, etc. So again, thank you, Amanda, for coming in. Also, Sid James as well. I think you were in the chat room yesterday, last night. Big Northern Soul fan. Nice to have you tuning in. I haven't done my for Sid James. And Amanda sent me her weather forecast for today. She says, good morning, Ginge. Today will be sunny, partly cloudy with a light breeze, highs of 17 degrees, which will feel like 19 degrees, possible rain shower late afternoon. Have a great day. Well, we shall wait for the rain again. It always hangs above where we live, but when you get down into the town or you go somewhere else, you can just see the ominous clouds in the distance. But we'll see if we get a bit of rain. It will be a decision time. Do we get the washing on today or not? Kevin Bell is watching as well. Nice to have you tuning in. Cy Grinley tuning in as well from Halton, Wendover. Nice to have you looking in. Graham Bint also tuning in from Australia as well. Brett Weston also tuning in. Rita, I've lost that there. I've lost somebody there. I've lost somebody. Rita Pancelli, is also tuning in as well. Nice to are you the lady that was a friend of Jane's near Stansted Airport, who used to work with Jane years ago with Thompson? I'm not sure if that's you. Anyway, Tim Crystal's there as well. Bolly Brotherston, I know your name, is tuning in as well. Lovely to have you. Frank Proud, another RAF Reg buddy. Nice to see you tuning in as well, along with Patrick Curtin. Right, Patrick Curtin says, day off, going to my allotment, bless you. He's digging for victory. That's what he's doing. He's getting those cucumbers in, those tomatoes going. And it's really funny because at the moment they're all busy planting for the summer at the moment around here. Obviously living in a rather rural area. I was just looking at the miles of plastic sheeting, obviously for the tomatoes that were being put up over the last week. And I just think at the temperatures that those tunnels must get up to get the tomatoes coming through. So, and I'll tell you what, the local tomatoes here are absolutely lovely when they're out in the summer. So again, next time you're over, check out the local tomatoes. Don't get for the ones in Lidl because they all taste the same in Lidl. They don't taste real. But our local tomatoes are absolutely gorgeous. Right, that's it from me. Thank you for tuning in. I'll keep my ear to the ground, see what happens. You lot stay safe and have a good day wherever you are in the world. Ta-ra.